Hello and welcome back to Andy's Cavern Boxing. How are we getting on? Hope you're all well out there, guys. Jerry will like that intro, won't you, Jerry? One of your favourites. He's a film buff, so he likes that. He'll like that intro there. How we all doing, guys? All good, I hope. A few boxing things coming up. Fraser Clark and Jamie Tishkiva, or Jamie TKV as he's known, because a lot of people can't pronounce his surname. They're fighting for the British Heavyweight Title. I think that'll be a decent enough fight. How's that going to go? I think Jamie Tishkiva he is fairly skillful, but I think you've got to favour Fraser Clark because he's got his Olympic pedigree and that, and he's kind of decent all rounder, but he's already fought for this title against Fabio Wardley and unfortunately came up short. I think the first fight was at a draw. It was quite a close fight. But the rematch he got completely ironed out by Wardley, didn't he? It was a horrible knockout, but he's kind of regrouped and come back, so let's see if he can win the British title. Can he go much further? I don't know. I think the jury's out on that. It's probably a bit late in the day. He's hung about in the amateurs for too long, and probably a bit like Joe Joyce. And probably Audley Harrison as well. He way back in the day, he probably hung about in the amateurs for too long. But so that's on the 25th of October, the same night as Joe Parker and Fabio Wardley. Now that's a fight that I'm looking forward to. That will be a good fight. Slightly higher level than Fraser Clark, Jamie TKV or Tishkiva fight. But all in all, it will be a good fight. I think they'll both be competitive fights. There's a lot of people thinking that Wardley could knock Parker out, but I think Parker's the favourite. But I think most folk are saying on points, but I actually think Parker might knock Wardley out. I'll go against the grain. I think what's to say Parker can't be knocked out by Wardley. I think the biggest puncher Wardley's faced is probably David Adelaide. And we had a discussion about that one night with Jamie and Jerry, and because I think I asked at the time, who's the biggest puncher that Wardley's been in with, and I think we probably agreed. I think Jamie said David Adelaide. He rated him highly as a puncher, so, and he's probably right on that. So, but Parker's been in with, he's been in with Wilder, maybe a faded Wilder. He's been in with Zhang, suffered a couple of knockdowns, but came through to win. Though Zhang's probably got an inferior gas tank, you might say, to Wardley. Wardley's a hard man to bet against, isn't he? He usually finds a way to prevail. Even when you thought he was up against it in his last fight, he found a punch to end proceedings, didn't he? So against Justice Hooney, he pulled a rabbit out of a hat at the end of the day, didn't he? But it was a good punch, and he deservedly won. I would have said for that. Though Hooney must have been kicking himself. All he had to do was kind of stay out of the way of danger for the rest of the fight. So there's a couple of heavyweight fights to look forward to. I also believe it's 50th anniversary of the Thriller in Manila. It was yesterday, I think it was. If you haven't ever watched that, I'd recommend anybody to go and watch that. It was an absolutely brutal fight and a great test of endurance for two of the greatest heavyweights ever, Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. Certainly one of the biggest rivalries in heavyweight boxing over the years. They shared the ring 3 times, Ali winning twice, Frazier winning once. But that third fight, it was brutal. I think it was very high temperatures and humidity they were fighting in, and most people know the I don't know you go over the whole fight. It was Eddie Futch pulled Frazier out at the end of the 14th round, didn't he? Though I think Ali was on the verge of quitting as well. So it was brutal. I don't think Frazier could see out. Was it his left eye? He couldn't see out it. But I think it was Sino actually almost blind in one eye, I believe. I don't know if that was caused by that, or maybe he was half blind before that or what, but to do what he did in his career was quite astounding if he was kind of fighting half blind over the years, wasn't he? But yeah, two great warriors putting it all on the line. They were probably never the same after that either of them. They probably both left something in the ring that night that was going through that. It was absolutely brutal. I think Frazier just fought another couple of times and got beat. Or did he fight? Did he get beat by George Foreman, I think, in a rematch? I think he lasted to the 5th round that time instead of the 2nd round in the first fight. And then I think he came back and fought a guy called Jumbo Cummins. I think that was a draw. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, because I'll leave it on. That should have been his last fight. He went on and fought big punchers like Ernie Shavers and the like, and that just did damage, didn't it? And he lost the title to Leon Spinks. And then regained it again to become the first 3-time heavyweight champion of the world. And then came back and fought Larry Holmes and then Trevor Berbeck after that. I think he boxed a wee bit better against Berbeck, but he should never have been fighting then. It was a sad state of affairs, but yeah, those round about him obviously didn't have his best interests at heart. But there we are. That's the history lesson for the evening. Other fights coming up. Who's Moses Atumo fighting next? Again, we're asking this question. I think there's 3 names on the horizon, which are Michael Hunter, David Adelaide, and Efe Ajagba. Some people are saying Michael Hunter's the favourite, but that could be the case. Michael Hunter's a tricky customer, though. It's probably his best days are behind him. Or he used to be a tricky customer, but I don't know what he's got left now. I'd like to see David Adelaide fight. I think that could be a good one. I think I'd like to see the route I'd like to see him go. Don't know about anybody else. I'd like to see him fight David Adelaide, who's a former British heavyweight title holder. So I maybe like to see Atumo fight David Adelaide, and then the winner could maybe fight the winner of the Fraser Clark Jamie Tashkiva fight. Because I'd like to see Moses Atumo do the traditional route and get the British title. I think he's got the Commonwealth title. I think he got that when he beat Dillian White. Correct me again if I'm wrong. I'm only a boxing fan, I ain't no expert. This is only my opinion, for what it's worth. Opinions are like backsides, aren't they? Everybody's got one, but this is mine. So that's what I'd like to see. And maybe see him go for the European title, and then maybe challenge for world honours at some point in the next year. I'd like to see Usyk retire, ride off into sunset, maybe after fighting Parker, or if Parker comes through Wardley, of course. It could be Wardley he's getting a title shot at, or perhaps the German guy, who I can never mind his name. I did a video about that last time, didn't I? Yeah. I'll come back maybe before the end of this video, I'm quite sure. There's a big show on in Glasgow on Saturday night. Now, I'm hoping to go to it. I haven't got a ticket yet, but I'm hoping to go. There's a big storm coming in, isn't there? So when's that, tomorrow? Maybe that'll pass by then. Let's see. It's got a good lineup actually. Nathaniel Collins is challenging for the EBU European Featherweight Title. So against Spaniard Cristobal Lorente. So that'll be. I think they're both unbeaten. So that'll be an interesting matchup. And then you've got Willie Hutchison and Mark Jeffers on the undercard. Aston Brown and Paul Keane for I think it's Celtic middleweight title. Aston Brown's from Glasgow and Paul Keen's from Dundee. Had the pleasure of meeting Aston Brown when I was at the Hydro Arena the last time. He had a first round knockout that night. I think he had a lull in his career here for some reason. He didn't fight for a while, for whatever, that's his business. But he's on the comeback trail. I think he's won his last 3. Well, I think he's unbeaten actually, so it's not like he's been beaten, but he had a good amateur record, I believe. So let's hope he's got a bit of momentum up now and can do something. Maybe get a British title fight next at middleweight. That'd be good to see that. So we've also got Regan Glacken versus Leo Doherty. That's for the vacant British lightweight title. Marcus Sutherland against Harsh Saroha. Steve Collins Jr. against Javier Santana. Of course, they're trying to drum up some fight between Steve Collins Jr. and Chris Eubank Jr., aren't they? Because the rope men fought. So whether that's going to happen, I don't know. I don't think Steve Collins Jr. is on the same level as Chris Eubank Jr., but they can maybe sell it through some kind of manufactured beef. Superly processed. Reese Lynch against Jacob Laskowski. And a few others. Yario Lozando Quendo versus Mario Victorino Vieira. Super featherweight. Not familiar with these names. Drew Limond, who I think is the son of Willie Limond, the late great Willie Limond, versus Alexei Leon. That's a 4-round welterweight fight. And you've got Alex Arthur Jr. I think this is the second fight against Gregors Mardila. That's a 4-round super middleweight. I think he was fighting a light heavyweight the last time I saw him. So. And then you've got John Joe Carrigan versus David Priabolski. So there's quite a few fights on there. If I do get a ticket, I'll probably try and get down there early because I like to watch all the fights. So it's good to see boxing in Scotland again. Big boxing. So I think it's a Queensberry card, so that's at the Braehead Arena in Glasgow. I think it's live on DAZN as well, so if I don't make it down there, I'll be watching it on DAZN, but I'm hoping to go. So there we are. What else is on the agenda coming up? I'm hoping to do more videos with Jerry and Jamie, just whenever we can fit in our schedules. And Jules will maybe come back on at some point when he gets a chance, but so everybody's busy, so it's I'm busy myself. I noticed today it was 5 days since I'd made a video, so I thought, gee whiz, I better, despite it being close to the witching hour, I thought I better get myself into gear and do something. So here we are, back in the cavern. And if you're interested in cars at all, I've started a new channel up, Andy's Cavern Autos. So yeah, if you like cars, I'll be doing stuff like road trips, going to rallies. There's some videos up there already from the Knock Hills McRae Challenge rally event, which was, if you're into rallies. If you're not into rallies, don't bother looking at it, or if you're not into cars, don't worry about it. But if you are into cars, there's a lot of people into cars. Hopefully you might find something of interest on there, and it'll be stuff like that. I'll be putting some car repairs on. Anytime I've been doing stuff lately, I've made wee videos, just some basic stuff, nothing too technical, but it might interest somebody, so that's what I'm doing with that. And there's probably more people interested in cars than there is boxing, so, but boxing's quite a niche thing. But anyway, we'll keep barrying on, won't we? Ajit Kabayel, that's the name I was trying to remember earlier, the German. I mean, he could be the second best heavyweight in the world. It's probably a toss-up between him and Parker at the moment. Who's best after Usyk, I would say. I think that, I mean, there's talk of Fury coming back, but I mean, Fury and Anthony Joshua and all these guys, their best days are behind them. Daniel Dubois, he'll be on a rebuild program at the moment, I would imagine, picking up the pieces again after Usyk dealt with them, you might say. So there we are. And don't forget, like and subscribe, Sandy's Cavern, if you haven't already. And a big thanks to everybody that has already. There we are. So, and don't forget, Boxers in Need, www.boxersinneed.com for helping raise funds to help boxers who have fallen on hard times after they've retired, and grassroots boxing. And don't forget, Perth Auto Recyclers. Go and see Grant and Craig at Perth Auto Recyclers if you're needing your old car taken away. Best prices in town. So there you are. Perth Auto Recyclers. If you're local, in the local area, they'll come and collect your car and give you a fair price for it. So there you are now. Don't forget that. Anyway, I think that's all for tonight. You've probably had enough of me rambling on till the next time, and I will, if I do go down to Glasgow, I'll make some stuff about that, some videos, and if no, I'll do some post-fight analysis. But I think Nathaniel Collins will probably do the business. I'll pick him by mid to late round stoppage, probably a late round stoppage. I'll go for maybe 8th round or 8th or 9th round. I think he should do the business. He impressed me the last time. When he came into the ring, he got booed into the ring when he was fighting Lee McGregor, and he got cheered out of the ring, so he turned everybody around. But good on him. He's a southpaw as well, so he's definitely a good all-round fighter. He could be, well, they're claiming he could be the next King of Scotland, aren't they, when it comes to boxing now that Josh Taylor's retired. I think he was concerned he could have got his, or he was told his eyesight could have. It's not worth risking your eyesight for it. Your eyesight's valuable, isn't it? So, but well done, Josh Taylor. He had a good career, didn't he? He achieved a lot in a short time, or a short number of fights, didn't he? Yeah. So I think that's about it for the night. Until the next time, and I'll try and make it a bit sooner. Try to allocate myself the time to make videos. So till the next time, it's good night from me and good night to you. Good night. Take care.